Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we're going to do another Kumi video. This time it is 6 colors, 2 strands each, so there's 12 strings. But it's different from the last time we did this with the rainbow bracelet. This time it's pattern 11697 over on friendshipbracelets.net. You have to go under the Kumi's section for that. And it's different, right? So I think that's kind of what I kind of most wanted to talk about in this video, was the fact that you might make a lot of different bracelets. I know I certainly do make a lot of rainbow bracelets, but you don't necessarily have to make all of the loops the same way. In fact, there's probably dozens or more ways of actually lining this up, and these are like the patterns that we're using are the ones that we think look the nicest. That's not basically including, like, if you just go completely random with it, it's still going to be interesting. It's still going to be something that will be admired by people who are looking at your bracelets or thinking of purchasing them. That said, here you go. Like, that's our setup right there. You can see the colors are laid out. It's rainbow, but a little bit more on the pastel side of things. So like the red isn't super dark, nor is the orange. But yeah, it's kind of a mellowed out thing. I had an idea for the bracelet itself, which I haven't made yet. But I wanted to get the Kumi kind of out of the way. It was something that where Mandy actually makes the Kumis. So getting her with having time to do it was kind of a big deal here. So just like all the Kumis, it's the bottom left goes up and the top right comes down. And that just repeats until you reach the length that you're shooting for. Typically speaking, for my bracelets, it's one full resolution around, where all of the colors are basically where they were when you first started, and that serves as my loop. Oh, and off camera, what you can't see is she's extending her arm all the way out to be able to make sure that it's not getting tangled. That's not to say that it didn't get a little tangled here and there during the process here, but it does help because they do, while it's being braided, it does want to come and get tangled up a bit. That also explains the bobbin. Like, so you saw when she started off undoing the string, there's a bobbin where a little less than half of the string is all wound up into that little silicone thing there, right? So yeah, I don't know where to necessarily recommend purchasing them. I've tried checking on like AliExpress or Amazon or things like that. I have not been able to find them. I originally got all mine from a shop that used to be here in Singapore that did beadwork and stuff like that. And so yeah, I bought a lot of them because at one point or another we were doing some pretty crazy stuff with really long strings and kumis and making like ropes for the bags and stuff like that. So we have quite a few, even different sizes. There's some really big ones. If you're going to do like a Kumi and you want it to be 30 strings or more, you need the bigger size bobbin for that. What else can I tell you? I can tell you, these things actually go by pretty quick. I do have it sped up double speed for the bulk of it because of the fact that it is so repetitive, but overall the making of these things is pretty quick. And if you wanted to, you could make a loop like this and fold it around, and then instead of having 12 strings you have 24 strings. You could then do a 24 string Kumi bracelet, which would be amazing. And I guess there'd be patterns for that. You could go over to the friendshipbracelets.net and find patterns for those kind of things. For me, if I do it for a really prolonged period of time, I tend to feel a sharp pain in my shoulder, an old injury that I had. So I kind of leave it all to Mandy to do these. She can do them for hours on end and has no trouble. If I were to do it for probably more than 30 minutes, I'm going to be icing my shoulder or putting some kind of medicated healing pad on or something. So I have to kind of take it a little bit easy. Mind you, I can do knots for hours. I have no idea why the big difference, but it is. Yeah. Oh, just do a quick shout out to my YouTube members for making this possible. Honestly, buying the discs, buying the string, buying all that stuff, it really comes down to the help that I get from the support from my YouTube members. It's easy. If you want to join, it's the button down there next to the subscribe button. And yeah, it'll go a long ways to helping keep the channel going. I'm not sure how many more Kumi videos we will necessarily be having. I know there's a couple more coming up, but the teaching how to do it seems a little bit silly when it's such an easy process. You know, one goes up, one comes down, turn. That's it for all of them, to be honest. It's a real easy way to do it. It's probably easier than trying to do the macrame starts on the bracelets that are also very popular. So yeah, I don't see why not try to make something really pop and look awesome. So, oh, I didn't mention it earlier, but she started this whole thing by tying the first 2 strings in a knot. That's to keep it from unraveling. I'd like to let people know about this because it really does make a difference when you're setting up the bracelet, not having the braid coming all undone and looking sloppy. And here we are at the end of it. She's going to take off the last 2 strings that would crust and tying them into a knot. It's just a little square knot, nothing fancy, nothing too crazy. It does make all the difference in the world though while you're trying to set up. You don't have to worry about trying to tug things tighter or keep it from coming apart. It will stay together. And it doesn't affect the fact that when you're making the Kumi, it's all very compact and tight. And then there's a point where you give it a tug and it extends outward. So it'll feel like you're not long enough, but then watch, pull it, and like an extra third of the length comes up. And here's what it looks like. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you for hanging out with me. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.